Looks like Biden is now on course to win the US election. After yesterday's initial results, everyone thought Trump would basically win this, but the votes have flipped, and majority of the mail ballot votes that are coming in now, they're supporting Biden, and he has now won Wisconsin. That initially was having Trump in the lead, but it has flipped, and Biden has basically won this. It is now a mathematical impossibility for Trump to win it, even though there are still votes to be counted. And Michigan has also flipped. Trump still could turn this around, though a very unlikely result because the mail ballots tend to favour Biden. So if we can kind of look at the rest of the votes being counted for all these other states, and it would be a very, very similar situation where the incoming votes will favour Biden more, and potentially he could win more states. So Michigan, if he can seal Michigan, Biden wins at 270, and if he can get Pennsylvania, which Biden thinks he can, especially having narrowed the result, the lead of Trump from 700,000 to 400,000 right now. So you'd probably think that if more votes come in, Biden still has a very, very good chance, though it's going to be such a tight race, like literally such a tight race. It looks like Biden, it looks like Trump is going to win Pennsylvania, but if we look at the results and the votes coming in, Biden should narrow that lead quite a bit. He should narrow it literally to thousands or tens of thousands. It probably won't be in the hundreds of thousands. That's how tight I think the race will be. North Carolina is still potentially could flip to Biden, and the same with Georgia, though Biden just needs Michigan and he's sealed the deal. And I think it will be healthy in a way if Biden wins more than one state, because then you won't have Trump contesting everything, because if Trump loses by the slightest of margins, he's going to contest everything. There's going to be a lot of supporter unrest, and you're going to have riots, you're going to have a lot of trouble, you're just going to have the country being very, very divided, so you probably don't want that. But that's basically what's going to happen. You saw articles of shops boarding up their windows. They're all prepared that voters are going to get upset either one way or another. The country is literally divided right down the center, where it's you're only going to have half the country that's going to be happy, and the other half is going to be a little upset. And there's going to be some percentage of voters that are so upset that they just take it to the streets. But yeah, I think markets are still feeling a bit uncertain, because initially they thought Trump would win. The market kind of powered upwards. Then now that it's flipped to Biden, market kind of changed a little bit, and it is probably now just waiting for that certainty of that result. So it really depends. I feel like the market kind of thought Trump would win, and they thought that they had a bit more confidence with Trump there, because he would just he's the type of guy that would just focus on pushing the market up. So hence you got speculation, you got traders, they're buying up in support because they think Trump's going to win. Whereas with Biden, there's a lot of threat about taxes and everything. But I think in the long run, the market will do better under Biden, because he's going to offer so much stability. And also you're going to look at a situation where, a lot of things can return back to normal. There's just going to be better management under Biden. And I think the market will see that and eventually perform well as well. Of course, I think with Biden, you've got a more steady position, so all the stocks that are in more like a value category would probably do better. And with Trump, you've got more of a speculative situation, where as long as money's being pumped into the market, people are willing to give, particularly, growth companies, a higher valuation. So we just have to see who comes in and how the market kind of sees that. But looking right now, it looks set to be Biden, and I think it probably fits the result. It fits the polls, because the polls were thinking Biden had about a 10% lead over Trump in terms of popular vote. And if we look at the popular vote, currently Trump's at 67 million, Biden's at 7 million. So I imagine Biden's going to pick up a couple of more million votes ahead of Trump. So it kind of matches the polls. Except we didn't see some of these states not favouring Biden. Trump has done surprisingly good. He has done what a lot of people didn't expect. It has ended up being such a tight race, but it makes things interesting. So we'll have to see how things go. But I think things have been basically confirmed to go Biden's way. There's at 99% reporting. Biden's lead has just gone from about 30,000 to 38,000, and he looks very, very set to win it. I think Michigan should be confirmed any moment now, so I think Biden has officially won it, unless there's something that's going to be turned around. You're likely going to see Trump going to the court to try to dispute this result. He's going to ask for a lot of recounts. If a result is within 1% difference, they can actually ask for recounts. So I imagine there is all these other tricks going to be played, because Trump's not just taking this sitting down. But at the end of the day, I think for a lot of people, especially the ones watching here, you're probably just more thinking about how does the stock market react. I think markets will react accordingly. They will still be healthy. They'll still go up. I think people had a bit more faith in this, when Trump was leading, that the stock market does better. But I think under Biden, the stock market does just as well, because it's all about the money supply going into the stock market, rather than just having whoever becomes president. Though as much as money comes into the market, it's not a long-term situation. Money coming into the market just props up prices, but you kind of want these companies to actually have strong fundamentals. And I think under Biden, companies will have stronger fundamentals, hence why I think the valuations still go up, because the fundamentals are strong, rather than just being artificially inflated by money in the market. So we'll have to see how that goes. And yeah, as we're watching these results come in, Biden is still narrowing the lead in Pennsylvania, just by the slightest margins right now. Because it was around 400,000, now it's less than 400,000. So we'll have to see how that goes. I think Pennsylvania will come right down to the line, so probably need all the votes to count before we really know who's going to win this one. But yeah, Michigan looks like a very sealed deal. Let me know what your thoughts are. Were you surprised about what happened? Did you think Trump would win after the initial results? And did you expect Biden? So it's certainly an interesting race, but one that's coming to a conclusion probably today, or should be by tomorrow. Until then, good luck investing, everyone.